I feel like Hollywood could someday make a movie out of these guys. We're disappointed in our performance. Really? Before we go too far in this video, let's take a quick look at the financial compensation packages of all of these EA executives that are crying all the way to the bank. Andrew Wilson, Chief Executive Officer, $35 million. Patrick Soderlund, Executive Vice President, $48 million. Blake Jorgensen, COO and CFO, $19 million. Kenneth Moss, Executive Vice President, $14 million. Chris Bruzzo, Chief Marketing Officer, $5.7 million. Wow. That's a lot of money for one person, but to split it between these guys, that kind of money in a financial compensation package is almost unheard of in the world of video games. It goes to show just how much money Electronic Arts has made over the years. And yes, they've done a few things right. I don't want to give them credit where it's due, but by far and large, EA has faltered and taken full advantage of the gaming community every chance they get. EA held their most recent earnings call for Q3 2019, and it wasn't pretty. It was ugly as hell. And they tried their best to explain the falters away, saying that Battlefield 5 didn't sell as well as they wanted, but that's because of a whole bunch of reasons that we couldn't control. Things like the competition was too hard. There are too many good games out there, and we're losing money to them. Come on, EA. The real reason Battlefield didn't sell is because your marketing campaign basically told your customers, don't buy our game if you have a problem with it. Not really the best approach, but continuing with that, the other reason Battlefield 5 didn't sell is because you focused completely on the single player mode and had a lackluster multiplayer. Now you are making up for that with Firestorm or whatever that downloadable update's gonna be in March, having the Battle Royale, but it's gonna be too little too late. The problem with Electronic Arts is they build all of their games around a central focus of microtransactions. And it's been this way ever since they found out that they can exploit customers by maybe pinching them in the right places, getting them hooked on a game like a drug, and then saying, you want a little bit more, you want another hit? Give us a little bit more money, and maybe you'll have a little bit more fun with your game. That's not how video games are supposed to work. It was never how video games were supposed to work. But somewhere along the line, this all got twisted, and gamers thought that the more money they put into a game, the more fun they'd have with it. And slowly but surely, they're realizing that's not the case, and that is why EA is losing a lot of money right now. Their stock, as of this morning, is down 13% from yesterday, which maybe doesn't sound like that much, but if you take into account that the last time they had a stock drop this big, it was over a decade ago. Not to mention that EA has basically been exponentially going up in value over the past 10 years, but then recently over the past 5 months, it's been basically straight down with no reason for it to recover. Taking a look at the future prospects of EA, it doesn't look much better either. They spoke about Command & Conquer, the mobile phone game, which went over real well with the crowd at E3 when they first saw that announced. Command & Conquer, yay, a mobile phone game. Really? Oh great, we're making a game for the sole reason of exploiting our gamers and taking as much money as possible from them. As a business, I can understand why you'd want to do that, because the point of business is to make money. It always has been. But if you're in the video game business, the point of business is to make enjoyable game experiences. And therein lies the difference as to why EA is falling behind the competition right now. They don't care if their games are fun. They don't care if you're having a good, enjoyable time playing them. They just want to make money, and as much money as possible. If there was a way that EA could make a game that continually just took money out of your account while you were playing it, that game would already exist. EA is trying everything they can, creating Origin, games as a service, making all these monthly service fees, trying to figure out different ways to taking money from the gamer, but at the end of the day, they're forgetting the most important part of gaming, and that is making an enjoyable game experience. Now, the funniest part about this conference call was talking about Anthem, to me at least, when Blake Jorgensen, the COO, CFO of EA, said, he expects to sell 5 to 6 million copies of Anthem during the first quarter of sales for it. 5 to 6 million copies. I don't mean to lose my mind right now, but Blake, did you even play Anthem? Did you see the launch of the demo? Did you see the errors, the glitches, the bugs, the screen freezes, the people that couldn't even get in to play the game, and the people that did get in to play the game said the world was empty, boring, dull, repetitive, all the same things that you could find in other games already. The only thing different about Anthem that other games don't have is you have a jetpack. And that got old after about 5 to 10 minutes. So please, Blake, tell me, what about Anthem is so damn special that it will sell 5 to 6 million copies during the launch window, the first quarter of sales? Now, I could see this possibly happening, but it's not going to be the way you're going to like it, which would be the game flops. It completely falls flat on its face the day it launches. The only people that buy it are the people that pre-ordered it, and then nobody else buys it, which I'm kind of assuming will happen. Then you guys cut the price in half. Then you make some sales on it, and then it goes on sale for even less than that, and then you make your goal of 5 to 6 million units sold. But at the end of the day, if you're selling the game for pennies on the dollar, does it even matter how many copies of it you sell? No. And after that microtransaction screen leaked, it got me wondering that you guys probably don't even care if you sell this for full MSRP or not, because if you're going to inject microtransactions, which we saw how you did that with Star Wars Battlefront 2, and then how Disney completely slapped you in the face and said, what the hell are you doing with our brand? Take that crap out of our game. We don't want to be branded as someone who does that to people. So you pulled it out, you apologized, you said, well, sorry guys, we didn't mean to make it like that. We wanted to make it an enjoyable experience because we got caught with our heads in the cookie jar. We're sorry, we'll remove all those issues from Star Wars Battlefront 2, completely take away all the pay-to-win stuff in it, and we'll be good moving forward. But then Anthem is not owned by Disney. The license has nothing to do with Disney. So you can bet your ass EA's going to take full advantage of the gamers with Anthem when nobody's going to be there to stop them, except the Belgian government. But outside of Belgium, they're going to take full advantage with the microtransactions, the DLC, all these unnecessary add-on content things that they'll be putting into the game just to make the extra buck, just to be able to tell their investors, look how many copies we sold, and look at all these microtransactions we put in the game to take advantage of the gamers. Nobody can stop us. It's the perfect storm. It's our game, and we can screw it up as much as we want and try to tweak it to take advantage of the whales, and then tweak it a little bit more to take advantage of those who have addiction problems, and then tweak it a little bit more to take advantage of everybody else who's coming in to play the game. It's nefarious, it's evil, it's awful. I've spoken about how awful microtransactions are for the video game industry at large. The defenders of it will say, you don't have to buy it, they're just cosmetic, they don't have anything to do with the game, they don't have any impact on the game whatsoever. Why are you complaining about? Well, here's the thing. Cosmetic things do have an impact on the game. If it's multiplayer, you can buy something cosmetic that makes you blend in with the environment. Guess what? That gives you a competitive advantage. Not to mention, this is preying on the people that don't know any better, the people that want to keep up with the Joneses, that have psychological disabilities, that aren't able to differentiate what it means to buy a microtransaction or to be able to play a game without doing so. It preys on the weak, and it's an awful practice that doesn't belong in video games. Belgium already took care of that, and there's a lot of issues preventing the United States from doing it, the first one being the ESRB, but that's a whole nother conversation. The point is, this business model is archaic, it's outdated. It did work for the past almost decade once they learned about the technology and started integrating it into the games. Back in 2012, we're talking EA was worth around $4 billion, and then just last year it was worth around $33 billion, and it's come back down to earth around $24 billion this year because of the huge stock loss they've had. But the problem still stands that EA doesn't know how to make games entertaining. All they know is to make games and try to squeeze as much money out of gamers as possible. It makes me wonder, who are these gamers that keep buying the Electronic Arts games, and when are they going to catch on to Electronic Arts doesn't make entertaining games. They don't make great products. They make games with the intention of taking more money out of you. There are plenty of AAA publishers out there that don't take full advantage of the consumers, that try to make the games as best as possible, that make their intentions well known, that they want to make it an enjoyable experience and not steal money from the consumers, not take advantage of people. people. Unfortunately, EA still has yet to see that light, and that is why I feel like they are going to falter as a company in the long run. They're going to go bankrupt? No. Or at least not tomorrow. But they will continue this downtrend. It's a company I want nothing to do with. It's a company that I think any investor should steer completely clear from, because they don't have the right perspective when it comes to being a gamer, which is their primary customer. They look at their stockholders and they say, we want to make you as much money as possible, we want to keep this going exponentially, but that's the thing, you can't keep making money exponentially as a stock. Eventually, you'll reach a cliff and fall off of it. And I'm starting to wonder if EA has reached that point. Based off the stock right now, it certainly feels that way. That's all I got for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, you stay smashing.